Fallon, if you're anything like me, you're probably hearing on an almost daily basis that someone else in your life has just announced they're starting to take Ozempic, and you're wondering, is this really the wonder drug that everyone is claiming it to be? Does it have the enduring effects that we're being told it does? And or are there better ways, healthier ways to lose weight? That's what we're going to talk about today. But first, one of the interesting things on the Ozempic research front is, and this research has started some years back, probably going back almost 10 years, was looking at Ozempic's brain health preservation potential in preventing diseases like Parkinson's disease and Alzheimer's disease. And that's what I recently spoke to a neurologist and a fellow of the American College of Nutrition about, Dr. David Perlmutter. And here's an excerpt from that interview talking about what's been shown in terms of the brain potential effects, preservation effects for Parkinson's disease. Here's a quick look.
And more importantly, in treating brain disease. In April of 2024, in the New England Journal of Medicine, a study was published, an interventional trial, meaning they took a group of people with a disease, in this case it was Parkinson's. Half the group got a placebo injection, and the other got a drug, which was a GLP-1 Ozempic-like drug. And they followed these people, and what they found was in the group that got the placebo, they declined over the course of the study. They got worse and worse, with respect to their movements and their tremor and their ability to walk. Whereas the group that got the GLP-1 agonist drug, their condition stabilized. That's breathtaking. There's never, ever been a drug that could do that.
Breathtaking. But keep in mind that a lot more research really needs to happen before they can establish the effectiveness and safety of using drugs like Ozempic, these GLP-1 agonists, on a brain health preservation capacity. So what do these drugs do? Quickly, we're talking the drugs like Ozempic, they're GLP-1 agonists, the GLP-1 receptor, they work on the GLP-1 receptor, which is associated with hormones of satiety. So they make you feel full after eating food. Drugs like Ozempic also slow the passage of food through the stomach, so you have that feeling of fullness longer, also disinclining you to eat food. And on the weight loss front, another brilliant doctor I recently spoke to was Dr. Jason Fung, who's a nephrologist. He's a kidney specialist, a physician, best-selling author of The Obesity Code. He's recently written a new book called The Hunger Code. I just interviewed him about. And so I wanted to talk to him about and this is very interesting, about the weight loss side of things, because he prescribes this drug more for severe kidney issues like chronic kidney disease, type 2 diabetes, and things like that. He cautions against its use as a weight loss. He talks about the fact that people take this, to lose weight for their high school prom, or their high school reunion, and it's kind of dangerous to be using in that respect, he says. What I asked him was, is this an enduring weight loss intervention? And very interesting what he said in terms of, for one, surprisingly, the difficulty in keeping people on the drug for it to have its effects. And he also spoke to me about how the problem is people don't take the necessary action while they're on the drug to change their eating habits and wisen themselves up so that once they're off the drug, they actually can maintain their weight loss. I'll play you what he said now in terms of the first factor I mentioned.
A recent study in the Journal of the American Medical Association shows that by about 1 year, about 60% of people, Americans, are off of these drugs. Not because they don't need it. It's because it's a really hard way to live. So remember that food is pleasurable, right? It's one of the great pleasures of life. We all know it, right? You get a big promotion, you celebrate. What do? You go have a big meal or something like that, right? It's Christmas. What do? You have a big meal, right? It's a celebration of family. You get together, you eat. It's something that we all look forward to all the time. Well, think about this. So now you take this drug, and you no longer get pleasure from eating because you're a bit nauseated, right?
Yeah, one of the great pleasures of life, obviously, and something, you can maintain this, for a period of time. You take the drug, as Dr. Fung was saying to me, everyone's commenting, well, you've lost so much weight, you look fantastic. You get the rush of that for a while, you enjoy that, but eventually, the people stop saying that after a while. And you start to miss the pleasure of food, and that's when it becomes difficult to stay on the drug for the recommended period of time. Um, Another topic that I broached Dr. Fung on was the idea of, we hear this topic, this subject of Ozempic face, and it's, if you can Google Ozempic face and you'll see a spread of celebrity photos, all these people, like they have the sunken eyes and the protruding cheeks. I don't know how many of them are actually, really on Ozempic. But I wanted to ask Dr. Fung, is this really, because some people will say, some sources say that if you rapidly lose weight, as you do on Ozempic, or if you have a crash diet, rapidly losing weight is going to cause this effect. But Dr. Fung had a different take on it, and this is what he had to say on the phenomenon of Ozempic face.
Yes, it's the fact that the way that you lose the weight in the Ozempic is not necessarily just from the visceral fat. So when you do the fasting, what you're doing is you're creating a cascade of hormones, which is the severe reduction in insulin and then the rise in some of these other counter-regulatory hormones, which helps prevent that. When you do fasting, in fact, you primarily hit the visceral fat, which is the fat you're supposed to. Sagging skin is a different problem where you have excess protein, so you're not breaking down the protein. So if you just lose fat, you're not breaking down the skin, and skin is not fat, skin is protein, and the connective tissue, which is all that tissue that holds it together, that's not fat, that's protein, and you need to break it down. So in fact
Yes. And this is why Dr. Fung will really recommend other methods like intermittent fasting is a main thing he talks about, which obviously this is related to the process of autophagy, where your cells are discarding unwanted matter, they're breaking cellular matter down, they're recycling it. It's a fantastic, healthy process for the body. It's anti-aging, it's pro longevity. And I mean, I do this on a rough basis. I try not to eat, after about 5 o'clock, and then I in the evening, and then I try not to eat again until maybe around 11 or 12 the next day. And that's what encourages this autophagy process. And this is a better way to break down, to lose fat, rather than taking Ozempic. And in this way, according to Dr. Fung, at least, you're less likely to lose muscle and less likely to lose subcutaneous fat, which is the fat on the surface, beneath the skin, rather than the dangerous visceral fat that you want to lose. As in terms of better ways, other better ways, speaking about protein, protein is also a GLP-1 agonist. By eating protein, you're gonna also stimulate that feeling of satiety and disincline you to eat more food. There's also the renowned beneficial bacteria, Akkermansia muciniphila, which will also is also a GLP-1 agonist. Of course, it's taking something like Akkermansia muciniphila, it's like nothing compared to the effect of Ozempic on hitting the GLP-1 receptor. It's like Ozempic is 1,000 times as powerful in hitting the GLP-1 receptor. But on a subtle level, this will give you a feeling of satiety. There's also, for example, allulose, the sweetener, the artificial sweetener, also is something that will hit the GLP-1 receptor. And of course, different types of training, like high-intensity interval training, is pro-insulin sensitivity. This is going to get the glucose into the cells better. It's also better for metabolic health. There are other paths aside from Ozempic to losing weight, and worth exploring before you too potentially jump on that bandwagon. Great to be with you. I'm Brendon Fallon, health journalist with Epoch TV NTD. Look for my show Vital Signs, and you can find my interviews with Jason Fung and Dr. Perlmutter. Great to be with you.